Johnson's kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way to field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The return is Jones from the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here is Young. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. A huge play there for Denver. 49 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Chris Jones, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And Young's throw there incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Young from the shotgun. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Young working out of the gun. Got a man. It's Jeudy complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Young. This is caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and goal from the 1. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. K.J. Hamler in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now down to 20. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Third quarter starts with a run from Swift. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the hand and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So certainly not at all what you're looking for here to start the third quarter. A fumble on their opening drive.
Not at all. You're exactly right about that because this had a chance to be the drive to put everything away. A touchdown here, that might have put everything out of reach for them. They definitely handed out a lifeline to the defense on that play.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Young to throw it. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag routes a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Young. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Up the middle they go. McQueen, give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to trip a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Young will set to throw. That's caught at the 3. Touchdown! Albert O, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos use the short field to get in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Second and 8 coming up. Here's Mayfield. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 23. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Here's a handoff to Swift. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, Mayfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Christian Kirk from 19 yards away as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, when you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
There's Charles Harris getting home for the sack.
You can just see it in their body language. You're starting to see victory on the horizon now. If it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Young. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Lions are going to take possession here at their own 33. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of Kirk, and he's dropped right at the 40, gain of 3. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to look deep for more. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they, unfortunately, are staring at a mini-losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap.
And now some disagreement down on that sideline. The red flag is out, and we're going to get a challenge. Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
From the red zone now, Young. Quick slant to Hamler. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll throw again. Young. Touchdown, Broncos. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 96 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Play fake, Mayfield. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Show a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, down at the 31. Now a carry for Swift. And he's got some space here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. DeAndre Swift with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. They'll try to run with Swift. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Lions touchdown. So a 4th quarter pick-6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick six, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Young. Steps away to his left. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Lions will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
The tough thing is when he goes back and reviews the film, he'll see that he already escaped the pocket. He could have gotten more himself by using his legs, and that might have been the better choice there instead of challenging the zone. A miscalculation on his part, and he pays for it with the interception.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 133 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. They'll run here with Swift. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Detroit, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants.